Ukraine, one of 7 athletes that we will be seeing. Oksana Slivenko, who was second in that list, probably favourite for today. She's the reigning European champion. So there she is, 2 times a world champion, 4 times a European champion. Alonya Kirienko of Azerbaijan, 9th at the European Championships in 2012, a former Ukrainian. There's the Pole, Patricia Pachowiak, who was 3rd at the Under-23 European Championships 2 years ago. Romyana Stancheva of Bulgaria, who was formerly known as Petkova, and 3rd in the European Championships in 2005, been around a long time. Sazanavets of Belarus, 4th at the London Olympic Games, posted a huge total there, was unlucky not to get a medal, drew with 2nd and 3rd, lost on bodyweight. Tatiana Matvieva, 3rd at the World Champs in 2011. So we're joining the action here with Pachowiak of Poland. This is the first lift of this snatch competition, and 92 kilograms on the bar there. Looks like a good lift for her, so she gets her account underway with 3 white lights. Now, alongside me, Colin Bryce, is Michaela Breeze, one of Britain's best ever weightlifters. Michaela, the women are getting pretty powerful now, above your old weight, that's for sure, but there's some really impressive characters in this class.
Absolutely. We're now moving into the heavier weight categories for the women. This is where we're going to start to see some much bigger weights being shifted. So very exciting today. 3 lifters that are really out there in a league of their own.
Kirienko going for 93 kilograms and looking pretty good at that. The Azerbaijani, who is a former Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's a 3 kilo increase on the weight that she posted at the weigh-in. So obviously things are going well in the warm-up room. First attempt on the board, looking good.
A little sniff of smelling salts there for the Bulgarian, who is Romyana Stancheva, who formerly known as Petkova, has got married recently, so congratulations to her. 3rd in the European Championships all the way back in 2005. She's had some good numbers in the past. Last year hit 112.5 in the snatch, 130 in the clean and jerk, a 240 total, so 95 should be well within her reach.
Just taking her time, experience showing, not happy with where the bar was positioned. That buzzer, 30-second buzzer. There is a clock in front of the athlete, so the athletes know exactly how long they have. Well, considering how much she has done, 112, I wouldn't say 95 was particularly easy, although I'm sure there's going to be a lot more there. I'm guessing that she's had some time out of training, which is why her personal bests are down today.
Well, she looks fairly pleased with it. Plenty more in the tank there, I think. Pachowiak coming up for her second attempt, 95 kilograms on the bar for the young Pole, just 21 years old. She's competed in the Junior World Championships before, 7th at the Junior Worlds last year, hit 93.115 there. So progressing nicely.
Very solid second attempt. That takes her above her previous best of 93, which you say was at the World Championships last year. So she's obviously in great shape with still 1 attempt to come. Yeah, very solid overhead. Be good to see how she progresses. The Poles have a great reputation in women's weightlifting and men's.
Indeed. Aliona Kirienko now.
Well, never really fully extended there through the middle of the lift, therefore didn't generate enough upward momentum on the bar. Let's have a look at the slow-mo. I was always in front, really did need to use her legs a bit more powerfully than that. One attempt still to come. I'm sure she'll come back and give that a better effort.
96 kilograms then, missed. The Bulgarians there on the left-hand side. Will Stancheva come out at 96? Would seem very odd, having fairly comfortably dealt with 95. So perhaps, perhaps Ukrainians are jumping up a weight here.
I'm not sure the coaches will be counting how many lifts there are until their athlete's on. So they've counted, and assuming there that Kirienko had been successful with that previous attempt, it would have been Stancheva coming out now. But obviously, with a failed attempt, she has to wait a bit longer, just needs to refocus. So I think we're going to see Kirienko of Azerbaijan coming out again with 96.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious now. Former Bulgarian there, one of the coaches as well, looking after this Azerbaijani team, and it's they've really gone from being well, nowhere in weightlifting to very successful, the Azerbaijani setup. 96 kilograms then, third and final attempt. No.
Similar issues there, she's looking at her hands. That's not the reason she's missed the lift.
Just out in front again, wasn't it?
Yeah, technical issues. Needs to go back to the drawing board, work on those things. But you can see she's well strong enough. Hopefully she'll come back with a strong clean and jerk.
Now comes the Bulgarian, Rumiana Stancheva, formerly Petkova, who, let me remind you, has hit 112.5 at her best. Going for 98 on her second. 31 years old now. I must admit, when we read her name earlier, we looked for the international results, and of course it came up with nothing. We were somewhat shocked the Bulgarians were fielding a new 31-year-old. It's quite late to start your weightlifting career, but then we realised who it was and that she got married.
Well, has to run forwards there to steady herself. But that's okay, so long as she's standing stationary, under control, feet in line. Referees will give her the down signal. Coach is telling her to calm down there. Still one attempt to go. She needs to remain focused. You can see she jumped backwards from the bar. That's why it was slightly in front. So Petroviak now coming out for Poland. Third and final attempt. Let's see how far she can increase her personal best. 98 kilos on the bar. This is 3 kilos up on the weight that she's just attempted. Absolutely solid overhead. Had to work to stand up. You can see the effort in her face, but now delighted. 3 out of 3.
Stuck it deep down the bottom, held it well, and 3 out of 3. Almost to the 100 kilo mark. You can see the Polish coach pointing at 100 kilos. That's the obvious next big mark. I mean, when you snatch 100 kilos, that's a huge, well, a huge landmark around these weights in the women's senior weightlifting. The Bulgarian Stancheva now coming out on 100 kilograms.
Now this is a weight that she's done many times in training, many times in competition. Best lift of 112 kilos. She's out of her comfort zone though right now, obviously had some time out. So third and final attempt.
Yeah, in the women's you're actually a senior over 30, so she's the oldest woman in the field. So you could say she's the oldest master at 31 years old. Kilos, yes, good effort. So enjoying her weightlifting still, and still extremely strong. 10 kilograms or so off of her very best, but still mixing it here at the European, Stancheva.
Well, that was by far the best out of the 3 attempts. Really had to dig deep, really had to give that some fire from the legs. Great lifting.
Yeah, 3 out of 3. Seen some very good lifting so far. Some good numbers going up here. Not too many misses. 101. First attempt for Nadia Maronyuk of Ukraine. Ninth at the Olympic Games in 2008. 2010 World Championships, her best ever finish, 6th. Hit 111 in the snatch that day. So that was, not surprisingly, pretty comfortable.
Very fast into the receiving position. Not too fazed by that first attempt. Great extension. Speed under the bar.
Yeah,
fully in control.
She's got some. She's got a few more kilos there, hasn't she? She pulled that pretty high. Had plenty of time underneath the bar to get herself adjusted. Very quick, as you said. So the Russians, and here is Slivenko coming out. She will be taking her first weight. The Russians without their head coach from the Olympic Games, Dave Riggett, is no longer a part of the setup, but the Russians still looking very good. 105 kilograms. The reigning European champion steps on to the platform for the first time.
Well, absolutely superb. Very strong, very dynamic, solid underneath the bar. What more can you ask for? And you can see the physical stature of this girl.
She's going to have a good fight today, because Matvieva is 110 kilograms at her best. Sazonavets 115 at her best. Maronyuk 111 she can hit on her day. Now here is Zina Sazonavets of Belarus, who's opening with 105 as well. 4th at the Olympic Games. As I said earlier, she had a total of 256, same as 2 other women in London, but on body weight she lost out on the podium. That was really heartbreaking for her.
Well, as expected, that's a lift well within herself. She recorded a best snatch of 115 kilos in London last summer. This is 105 for first attempt. Very comfortable on her opening effort. Great extension. You can see the bar still moving upwards as she's dropping.
So Tatiana Matvieva, the last athlete to join the party at 105 kilograms. 2nd in the world in 2006. 4 times 2nd at the European Championships. Is this perhaps her year?
Well, that's surprising. That was nowhere near Really did not set herself in the starting position, tried to tug with the arms. Bar was never at arm's length.
Yeah, off balance looking as well. I don't know if she's favouring a leg perhaps.
Oh, let's watch the slow-mo. Just trying to rip that up with her arms there. It's not going to happen.
Nadia Maroniuk coming out for her second, 105. Very pensive way to approach the bar. Many different ways to come out onto the platform. Some come out screaming and shouting. That's as slow and thoughtful as I've seen.
Very deliberate. Can she steady herself? Look at that.
Goodness me.
Superb core strength there underneath the bar. Really had to fight to pull that back. Took her time. Sat in the receiving position before standing up. Absolutely superb.
And slowly goes off again. Good effort. Really tremendous. Hopefully she hasn't hurt her shoulder there. She's just grabbing her right shoulder. That was a real effort to pull it back. Coming out now at 105, having missed her first effort, Matvieva of Russia. Charging out here. Obviously angry at herself for missing that first effort. She needs to get this or the pressure will be really high on her last effort.
Can she stand still? No. Well, similar issues to the last attempt. Definitely off balance there. Why was that? She just drove off one leg maybe too much. I say too much, or dare I say not driving equally off both legs. Bar was always in front, running forwards to chase it. Have to stay on that 4-metre platform for the lift to count.
Yeah, it's maybe not so much off balance as really quite far in front, isn't it? That's
yeah, combination of both of them there. I mean, you could see body weight was moving slightly one way. That may be because she's carrying an injury somewhere, maybe knee, hip, shoulder, who knows. But whatever it is causing us some technical issues there.
Well, let's have a look at the results so far. Standings. Sazanavets leads 105, 3 on 105, Maroniuk and Slavenko. But of course, due to body weight, it's Sazanavets who leads. She has 2 attempts left. So does Slavenko. Maroniuk has 1 to go. And, well, this is a bit of a pressure moment here for Tatiana Matvieva. The Russians have had such a good run of things so far. I love it. Just a little bit of voodoo at the last minute from the coaches. He's obviously got his ideas why it's not going up. Just bending arms back, finding the position, saying this is where you want to be catching it. Third and final effort then for a woman who's been 4 times the silver medalist at the European Championships. Failed her first 2 efforts at 105. Will she bomb out? Not even close on the last one.
Game over. She is going to be desperately disappointed with that. That was an almost guaranteed medal position there, just thrown away. Well, you know, if you're struggling that much, why start so heavy? You can only assume that her warm-up went to plan, but here, bar was away as soon as it came off the floor. She's going to be fighting all the way through to try and rectify the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a third and final lift, that 105. In fact, because of body weight, that 105 would have put her into 4th, but because she's such a good clean and jerker, her chance at the combined was extremely high with that 105, as you said, but no more. The combined chance is over. We'll see her again in the clean and jerk. It's not the same as the Olympics here. You do get a crack at both, even if you bomb out in one. But of course, when people talk about how did you get on at the Europeans, they really mean in the combined, don't they? So to lose a chance at that will be exceptionally frustrating for the Russians, who've had such a good run of things over the last few days here.
Yeah, it's not often you see a Russian lifter in that position. They're usually very consistent, very sound technically, so I can only assume there's something going wrong there in terms of injury that's causing her technique to suffer. But we've got a few lifters left in the competition still, and it's going to be very, very close now for gold, silver and bronze.
Well, it looks like Oksana Slavenko is waiting in the wings here, the reigning European champion, who made no mistake with her opener at 105. And I didn't hear what the MC called for there, but I'm guessing it's probably around about the 110 mark. We'll see in just a second here. 110 it is, second attempt then. Now, it must be noted that Slavenko at 68.6 kilograms in body weight, 6'5", is slightly heavier than Moroniuk, and indeed heavier than Sazonavets. That was pretty easy, goodness.
Very, very strong. If you watch the slow-mo, in a starting position there, as soon as the bar came off the floor, she lifted her backside up, which meant she dropped her chest, and that's the reason she's running forwards with it overhead. So if I'm being critical, that's the only thing to work on, but goodness me, wasn't she strong there.
There's a few more kilos there, that's for sure, for Slavenko, who has the European record, let's not forget, in snatch, 123 kilograms. So we're still 13 kilograms off her own record of all time. Sazonavets then is coming out. She too is taking 110 kilograms, and you can see the 68.4 kilogram body weight would give her the advantage over Slavenko.
Well, by far looks the most comfortable lifter out there today, and she doesn't have to do anything crazy here. All she needs to do is stay with Slavenko, because every weight that she equals, she takes the lead by virtue of lighter body weight.
Yeah, in a very good position. It's actually a reversal of what happened last year, if you remember, when Savenko, the other Russian, was slightly heavier, and Slavenko just followed her. They both hit 115 after Savenko went out first. Slavenko followed her, did it as well, and took the gold. So the roles have reversed here.
In terms of which lifter comes out first, that's down to the scoreboard on which lots the athletes have drawn. So they would have pulled a number at the weigh-in. That determines the order of lifting. So if two lifters are taking the same weight on their first attempts or on their second attempts, the person that's higher up on the scoreboard will come out first.
Well, coming out a little earlier than I thought she might do, the European record holder coming out at 112, having just hit 110. Oksana Slavenko. Final lift.
Superb, 3 out of 3. As we've seen all the way through these European Championships, medals are decided generally by those that are most consistent, and here again we've got 3 out of 3 successful lifts for Slavenko from Russia. She is currently in gold medal position on the snatch.
Well, she's done all she can do. I think she'd probably like, and her coaches would like, a fourth attempt. I think there was more in the tank there, and just as we discussed here, coming out on the same weight is Zina Sazonavets of Belarus. 112 kilograms will take her into first by virtue of body weight.
Концовку раскрыться со всей стопы.
Wow, didn't that look comfortable? Again, I'd love to have seen these girls really have to fight it out, start a bit heavier. They just don't look to be on a limit.
112 kilos takes her into first, and a pretty solid lift as well.
Absolute perfection technically. One of the best lifters I've seen at these European Championships.
Just looking down the list here, Michaela, including the B group, we've had something like 7 lifters hitting 3 out of 3. That's very impressive, and let's be honest, pretty unusual out of a pack of 12 athletes.
It is, yeah. Quite often you see lifters missing 1-2 lifts each, but look at the number of white lights there. That is fantastic.
Well, we weren't saying that Sazanavets had won the snatch because Moroniuk, as you can see, had 1 lift left. We were waiting to see what was going on there. We assume she's pulled out. She hit 105 to take the bronze, Slavenko 112, as well as Sazanavets for gold and silver. So Moroniuk must be injured, perhaps.
Eurosport Player is the Eurosport multi-screen service. With Eurosport Player, watch British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2 live on computer, smartphone and tablet through a single subscription. Watch your favourite events through the catch-up service. Also enjoy exclusive content through the bonus channels. Eurosport Player. All sports, all emotions.
Gripping, jaw-dropping superbikes. All the thrills and spills from 3 continents as riders and manufacturers chase that extra edge.